You know, it's almost as if we live in an era where comedy is not on its last legs, but there are a lot of people who are like fighting against comedians saying things. Here's the thing that you have to understand about comedy. It's subjective. There's things that Nick finds funny that I don't find funny. There's stuff that I find funny that Nick doesn't find funny. Now, where it gets into the gray area is whenever it gets into, you know, what is considered offensive. But if I may quote Brad Williams on this, don't speak for me, I can speak for myself. If something offends you, and you're offended on behalf of someone else, then you're not really offended. You're being offended on someone else's behalf. If someone who is actually, like, the target of the joke is offended, then that's between the person and the comedian to figure it out. This whole thing with comedians taking the piss out of award shows, I'm all about it, dude. I used to, like, want to go to, like, the Oscars. I used to want to go to award shows. And then Screen Actors Guild basically made it to where it's like, oh, it's a members-only club, and now they've lost all connection with regular, everyday people. Completely losing touch with just, like, reality. And just expecting everyone to care about their bullshit. I could care less. That's why I enjoy seeing comedians take the piss out of award shows. And Patrick CC has a compilation here of them, and we're gonna watch them. Can't wait to see him rip them apart. Here we go.
Comedians notoriously hate award shows, and celebrities hate when comedians host them, because the comedians can't resist the opportunity to get on stage and belittle celebrities during their night of highest honor. But the fans love these spectacles because we get to sit back and watch the chaos.
The comedians don't get paid anywhere close to what the fucking celebrities do.
No, they don't.
I'm gonna try and be nice. You're global megastars with amazing talent, most of you. A few of you just married well. You know who you are. We all do. We all do.
Today we are going to take a look at some of the funniest, most savage, and painfully awkward moments that have come from comedians at award shows. Starting with Jerry Seinfeld, who exposed these ceremonies for what they truly are. Comedy legend Jerry Seinfeld bluntly explained his hatred for award shows while he accepted the Comedian Award presented by HBO in 2007.
You don't give awards to comedians. First of all, comedians
Sorry,
don't
I had
need
to do
awards.
it.
Awards are for people that are looking for work. We're not looking for work.
Jerry opens with an interesting point. Comedians will not sell more tickets to their stand-up performances based on some pretentious award because being funny is subjective. However, in cinema, receiving an accolade will make producers and directors more interested in hiring an award-winning actor in future films for obvious creative and marketing reasons.
You know, I don't know why we're so fascinated with actors in this culture. They haven't got a thought in their stupid bedhead, hairdo, mini brains. Why? We must honor this man. Why? He pretended to be Bob Johnson. Playing dress up and pretend is not genius, ladies and gentlemen. It's not genius. Roll the cameras, put on these clothes, stand there, ready, say what we told you to say.
Yeah.
Fantastic. He did it. Give this man a huge golden trophy. He's a...
Is it sad for me to...
Damn.
Is it sad for me to say that... You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. Whose line is it anyway is more strenuous than what most actors go through.
Oh, absolutely.
And
those dudes are incredibly impressive.
yeah, Ryan Stiles, Wayne Brady, Colin Mockery, Aisha Tyler, even the host, she's amazing. And then whoever else they get, Brad Sherwood, Bill Burr, Robin Williams, whoever else goes on there. But Jerry's right here.
Every time I hear, like, you know, I think of my favorite moments from Whose Line, like Colin being like, it's like, yeah, we have a news report tonight of a lady murdered in a cow pasture with a small statue. It seems to be the first case in quite some time reported of a knick-knack paddywhack.
Oh, God. Okay, you deserve this one.
It's just my favorite, like, thing he's ever said. I fucking died.
God damn genius. genius.
As an actor himself, I'm sure Jerry is just joking here. However,
No.
comedians are often writers, directors, producers, and performers of their own material. Ironically, it kind of makes them more deserving of these esteemed awards.
I agree.
Secondly, and even more
I
important,
don't think
is,
the acting doesn't take talent, though.
No.
I don't entirely agree with him there, but he is roasting as well. He's not entirely serious, I don't think.
Well, most actors I could take the piss out of. There's very few that I respect because they don't let the fame go to their head. Like, number one, Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is just the exact same dude as he was when he was in Dazed and Confused as he is now. He is humble, he is down to earth, and he doesn't get lost in the celebrity bullshit. Keanu Reeves is another one. Another one right there. Like, these dudes are awesome, and they deserve all the credit in the world for the work that they do. But there's just so many pretentious asshats who are just like, I want to take this time to say that we need to do something about the plastic in the oceans. Meanwhile,
by we, I mean someone else besides me, not me. I'm not going to put my money towards that.
It's just like, yeah, you can stand up there and posture, but you couldn't be bothered to actually do something yourself. Donate some of those millions of dollars that you made off the film that you just did to the ocean cleanup project.
That's going towards putting a large piece of fiberglass in the ocean called my next yacht.
Exactly.
your whole career as a comedian is about making fun of pretentious, high-minded, self-congratulatory BS events like this one.
Yes.
The whole feeling in this room of reverence and honoring is the exact opposite of everything I have wanted my life to be about.
Clearly expressing disdain for these ceremonies might come as a surprise to you, but comedians before and after him have felt the exact same hatred.
Don
Rickles, who paved the way for comedians after him to unapologetically say what's on their mind.
I am so excited to get this Cockamamie Award.
While you may think it's disrespectful to just make fun of an award you're being honored for, it's hard to take it seriously when there are so many award shows that you can't even keep track of them.
Yeah.
You have the Golden Globes, the Emmys, the Grammys, Directors Guild of America.
I mean, it's even in my fucking hobby. Many of our hobbies that are on this channel, as far as I know, because a lot of us have the same hobby, which is video games. People get so fucking hyped up about the Game Awards every year and stuff, and it's like, dude, none of that shit matters. 2023 is the first year where it's actually kind of made some amount of sense with Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Baldur's Gate, yeah. Baldur's Gate 1. Elden Ring was before that. Or Elden Ring was after that.
Yeah, I think Elden Ring came out 2022. Baldur's Gate 3 winning a shit ton of awards is actually deserved, but there's a lot of shit that's just not. At the end of the day,
Last of Us Part 2. Oh god, sorry.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the game of the year is the game that you personally had the most fun playing that year.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
You know whose opinion I respect? Thor. I respect Pirate Software, aka Thor. I respect his opinion way more than I respect any of these game journalists. You know why? Because most of these game journalists don't play games on the regular. They're just writers. That's it. And
he both plays games and makes games.
Exactly.
On the regular.
And he's someone whose opinion I respect. And for him...
I don't always agree with him, but I do respect him.
No, and here's the thing. So far this year, he said that he's probably had the most fun playing Warhammer Space Marine 2. And not only that, Thor has said that the bugs in the game are so few and far between for a launch game, especially nowadays, considering how many bugs are apparent with games when they launch nowadays. And the fact that this game has so few bugs that it's actually kind of scary.
That's actually one of the things that impresses me more than anything when a game comes out nowadays.
If it doesn't have bugs?
I don't really encounter any bugs.
Yeah.
I had to have played at least 200 hours of Zenless Zone Zero so far. About 190 hours in, I encountered one minor little bug where something was just kind of acting strange. I was like, well, that's new.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that's fucking impressive, how polished this free game is compared to AAA games that they make you pay $70 for.
Yeah.
Awards, the BAFTA Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards, Producers Guild of America Awards, Writers Guild of America Awards, the Oscars, MTV Video Music Awards, BET Awards, American Music Awards, and that's not even all of them. These people spend more time celebrating.
No, that's all it is. It's a self-congratulatory jerk-off sessions.
I was about to say, I'm going to try to stop ranting and making the
this
video pause.
wonderful
We're
TV
like 3
Land
minutes
Award,
into 30
and,
minutes.
Whoever designed it is a moron.
Now, I'm sure you all know the typical structure of these events. One person will be the host of the entire night, but different celebrities will take the stage to present each award. Usually, these celebs read their lines off teleprompters, and often they are reading bad jokes that someone else wrote with
him and
terrible
Morgan
delivery.
Freeman.
Yeah.
We're here to present the VMA to the best group, and we love everything that has to do with groups. You have group therapy, group hugs, groupies.
Very exciting for both of us because we're both nominated.
It is especially terrible now considering the bullshit with James Franco. Oh.
Actually, James, I'm not nominated tonight.
Oh, come on, Ann, don't be so modest.
No, I'm not modest. I'm just not nominated. It used to be, you get naked, you get nominated. Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
Which made Don's subtle jab about reading from the teleprompter that much funnier.
Let's read these funny lines they wrote for us.
Okay.
Don then goes on to sarcastically laugh at the jokes.
First, it's a thrill to be matched up at the Emmy Awards with Mr. Warmth himself, Don Rickles. The world hasn't seen a pairing like this since John McCain and Sarah Palin.
It's the deep layers of irony that make Don's delivery so good. These celebrities know award shows are pompous. They also know Don isn't afraid to call them out on their bullshit. Yet even before he can get the jokes out, they already laugh and applaud the comic legend. But don't you dare try to interrupt one of his punchlines.
Oh, Julia Roberts, you live next to me at the beach. You know that. Thanks for all the visits. Anyway, I'm living about 2 blocks from it. The broad never shows up. Come by and say hello.
We're closer than 2 blocks.
You have no lines, Julia. Just nod.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is what you call a slap down, sit down, and shut up.
Even if the entire ceremony is dedicated to one person, like when Martin Scorsese received a tribute for the AFI Life Achievement Award, Don Rickles will humble them.
Marty, you are the most
annoying one of my favorite pop punk bands has a Life Achievement Award.
Oh, yeah?
AFI.
Little guy, he's the kind of guy in prison, was the squealer all the time. Pulling on your pants like going, let's do it again. Marty, when we see all the films you did, none of them were great.
Oh, no. Come on, Don.
But if you feel bad for Martin, don't worry. Clint Eastwood got the same treatment the previous year.
Yeah.
Clint, I say it, nobody else has said it, and I say it from my heart. You're a lousy actor.
God, dude.
Even Jim Carrey's cracking up.
Oh, God.
He's just like, no fucking way.
Of course. Well, just, who would expect it? I mean, I miss Rost,
This is why you can never get too comfortable at these gatherings. Like when David Mann was presenting at the Neighborhood Awards and Lavelle Crawford caught a stray fat joke.
Anybody got some chicken, an extra piece of chicken?
Lavelle.
I know you got
Damn. Oh, hell no. Hugh ain't gonna take that shit. Homie just stood up and be like, he said what?
Hey, take your jacket off and cover that side of the audience up.
It's okay for us to laugh because we're fat too.
No shit.
Oh, we're not quite as like, you know.
I ain't quite as big as Lavelle Crawford.
Not quite as much man as he is, but still.
That man is like girthy. that man big. That boy big. He do jumping jacks. They feel it in China.
Host directly sniping one of the members of the audience.
It's a big year for Jack. He also got in a hot tub with Kathy Bates.
But hey, who hasn't?
Oh!
Yeah.
Damn.
One of the most savage roasts came from Amy Poehler at the 2013 Golden Globes. She introduced director Kathryn Bigelow, who was previously married to famous director James Cameron.
Yeah.
Kathryn was nominated for Best Director for the film Zero Dark 30, which received a ton of criticism for glorifying CIA torture in the film.
I never got that. No. The people that did the torture in the film, it shows them just like being uneasy with like the shit that they're having to do.
I've been following the controversy over Zero Dark 30, but when it comes to torture, I trust the lady who spent 3 years married to James Cameron.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Amy Poehler. Well done. Job done.
Amy's dope.
Amy has
Amy's
built herself
hilarious.
a reputation for kind of being a roast master.
Yes, Matt Damon is here for Behind the Candelabra. Where are you, Matt? Matt, on
Here we
any
go.
other night in any other room, you would be a big deal, but tonight, and don't take this the wrong way, you're basically a garbage person.
Wow.
Oh, and Tina Fey is damn good too.
Tina's,
Gravity
they're
is
both
nominated for Best Film. It's the story of how George Clooney would rather float away into space and die than spend one more minute with a woman his own age.
Damn.
But sometimes making jokes about celebrities doesn't always go over well, like the time Sarah Silverman made fun of Britney Spears' children at the 2007 VMA.
Oh, this was ugly. This was so ugly, dude. Jesus.
But have you seen Britney's kids? Oh my God. They are the most adorable mistakes you will ever see. They are so cute. They're as cute as the hairless vagina they came out of.
Shut up, bitch!
I'm serious. They're this cute, you guys.
Oh.
The audience didn't think this joke was very funny, but this was back in 2007 when the internet didn't have a full-force grip on everyone's lives, so nobody was tweeting
literally
their
Always
outrageous-
Sunny had to freaking satire that because it's so prominent. There are so many women comedians that for some reason like make vagina jokes like constantly.
I swear.
And I'm just like, just like a dick joke, like you have to make it count. Like it's not just funny to be like, haha, a woman said vagina. That's what makes it funny.
Here's my thing.
It's like me just being like penis. Like it's not really funny, you know?
No. And here's the thing. I went and watched to a comedy show one time, and literally, the woman walked out on stage. Like people got done applauding her and everything. She grabs the microphone. She looks at it. She goes, "So my vagina," and I immediately just stood up and walked out. I was like, nope. And it's not because I'm uncomfortable with like women talking about their vaginas. I don't care. But if it's gonna be the same tired ass like my vagina did like the same shit that Amy Schumer did. No. Whenever it comes to like the bullshit from like a comedian trying to like when he's bombing and then he just like resorts to dick jokes because quick laugh.
Against Sarah. That was not the case for Bill Burr, who made a bunch of jokes at the 2021 Grammys pre-show that caused uproar online. After a beautiful piano solo from Igor Levit, Bill was brought on stage and said this.
How are you? Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo?
Critics exploded online, scolding Bill for making such a distasteful joke during a night of honor and praise. Little did critics know, it was only going to get worse. Bill immediately followed up by making fun of the Grammys pre-show as he thought he was going to be hosting the actual Grammys, only for him to show up to an empty Hollywood set presenting awards to a handful of producers and a few thousand people watching on the internet.
I bought a suit for this. I thought I was going to be on TV. I'm such a moron. I am losing so much money right now.
For some reason, they had Bill, a white man from Boston with absolutely no musical talent or knowledge, present all...
Hey, Patrick, no. Bill Burr is a fucking killer drummer. I think it's bullshit that they had him present for, like, albums and, like, genres of music he wasn't interested in. But, Patrick, I'm not going to let that slide, dude. No, Bill Burr is a great musician. Watch him play drums. The dude's really good.
of the Latin Music Awards and nominees.
All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff?
And he unsurprisingly butchered just about every name.
I can't say this name. Natalie what? All right.
Lafourcade.
And the winner, the Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade.
Lafourcade.
And the Grammy goes to Gustavo Dudamel, conducting
Dudamel.
the Los Angeles Philharmonic. I will be accepting the Grammy on behalf of Gustavo Dudamel. Congratulations. Crushed that one. And the Grammy goes to Frederick Ballantyne, Angel Blue, Dempsey Graves.
Because of people's outrage, some comedians don't think it's worth it to host anymore.
Agreed. Like, let the producers get up on stage and read the unfunny bullshit that they force the comedians to try and read.
Like Kevin Hart, who decided to drop out of hosting the Academy Awards after he was attacked on Twitter for his unsavory humor. Kevin Hart was announced to be the host of the 2019 Oscars, and immediately Twitter erupted, where detractors posted a series of old homophobic tweets. Nearly all of them were just really bad jokes that seem relatively menial. However, one stood out more than most. Kevin Hart tweeted, "Yo, if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say in my voice, 'Stop, that's gay.'" Critics also resurfaced an old joke from his iconic 2010 comedy special, Seriously Funny.
I'm gonna tell you guys one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is my son growing up and being gay. Hey, stop! That's gay! It's quick.
Kevin had apologized for these previous words in 2012. In 2015, he also addressed using gay jokes in his film Get Hard.
Did you think this is mildly mean-spirited or at the very least a little bit dated?
I said to myself, this is funny.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, funny is funny, regardless of what area it's coming from.
Within 48 hours of the host announcement, Kevin claims he was given an ultimatum.
I was given an ultimatum. Kevin, apologize, or we're gonna have to find another host.
So he...
Okay. Bye, bitch.
He ultimately decided to step down. Kevin did not host the Oscars and said recently in 2024 that he would never consider it ever again. Those gigs aren't good gigs for comics. It's no shot to the Oscars, no shot to the Globes or anything else. Those just aren't comedy-friendly environments anymore. Many people like Kevin believe that comedy is under a microscope these days, but it isn't even just everyday people online that get offended. Sometimes it's the A-list stars who, even though they are in the entertainment industry themselves, get offended. Like, I've noticed that Tom Hanks always has a sour look on his face.
Yeah.
Wow, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. Anybody remember that one?
Oh yeah. If I were Chris Rock, I'd have gone harder at him. I'd have been like, you know, typically it's the woman who delivers a bitch slap, but in this case, you the bitch, Will. That's what I'd have said. Like, props to Chris Rock for like taking it and just like rolling with it. It was almost as if
that's why he gained so much respect for that, because he handled it better than I think any of us would have.
Oh yeah. Like everyone who talked about it said that they would have stanced up against Will Smith. What Chris Rock did was, I think, overall the right move for him. His ticket sales went through the roof.
Not laughing is terrified of being next. One A-lister who did not like being the butt of
the
joke.
The moment we talk about it! The moment we talk about it!
Pinkett Smith, and her husband's reaction stamped one of the craziest award show moments of all time. During the 2022 Oscars, Chris Rock was presenting the award for
on the verge of crying like a little
Naturally,
bitch.
He opened with some jokes.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win.
See, that's actually a pretty funny joke.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty funny joke. And plus, Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, like, that's another dude who doesn't get lost in the bullshit of Hollywood. Javier Bardem, he doesn't give a fuck.
Praying that Will Smith wins, like, please.
Everything was going great until he transitioned to a joke about Jada Pinkett. Now, Chris had a joke during the 2016 Oscars about Jada that the crowd loved.
Jada's gonna boycott the Oscars. Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
See, that's a funny joke. That's a good fucking joke.
Because Chris Rock's fucking funny, man.
He is. He's legit hilarious. And this is a good joke. The joke that, dude, here's the thing. If Will Smith would not have acted out, everyone would have forgot about the joke the next day. Because it's a cheap, not good... It's not that good of a joke. It's a cheap little... Yeah, G.I. Jane. I remember that movie from 1998. People would have forgot about it. But because Will Smith did what he did, now that joke's going to live forever. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to hear G.I. Jane and be like, oh, yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith. All because of his actions.
Mm-hmm. This joke was way harsher than the one he was about to deliver. Chris made a joke about Jada, who has spoken openly about having alopecia.
She doesn't have alopecia! She's a fucking liar!
A hair loss condition. Chris compared Jada to Lieutenant Jordan O'Neill, the star of G.I. Jane, notorious for her short, buzz-cut hairstyle. Based on Jada's expression, she did not like the joke. Will, on the other hand, was laughing. It's unclear if he was trying to mask his anger by laughing, or if he genuinely thought...
he genuinely thought it was funny. Here's how it went. Joke was said, Jada cringes, Will laughs. Will looks over at Jada looks over at Will stops laughing. Will's like, ha, ha. And then he got up and he did what he did.
Because he was like, she's about to beat my ass at the house tonight.
Here's the thing, Will, I don't care if you lose half your money, dude. You can still live good. And plus, your kids are all grown up. If I had to lose half my shit just to get away from that crazy bitch, I'd do it.
The camera cuts back to Chris and we can see Will storming the stage until he ultimately smacks Chris in the face. He sits back in his seat and yells at Chris, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." The deafening silence in the room permeated when the audience...
That wasn't me.
"Wife's name out of your mouth." The
Dude, I was gonna say, and Will Smith yelled, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth."
Watch your profanity.
That'd be a funnier meme to put there than the friggin' charge from the cavalry.
Deafening silence in the room permeated when the audience realized this was not scripted, and Chris tried to make sense of what just happened. This encounter made comedians hate award shows even more because Will faced zero repercussions for his actions. He was not kicked out, he was not spoken to by the show organizers. In fact, he won his first Oscar for Best Actor later on in the evening. He gave a 5-minute speech rambling and crying about how God is calling him to love people and to protect people.
Well, you should probably listen to God then, Will.
What did God say? What did Jesus say? Turn the other cheek. It was a joke, and not even a good one at that. Turn the other cheek. Don't let people manipulate you into doing shit that you don't want to do.
Received a standing ovation with Hollywood actors crying in support of him. The standing ovation made me realize how detached Hollywood is from reality.
Yes.
The slap incident is likely why we got the extremely safe and not edgy Jimmy Kimmel to host the awards for the next 2 years. And they were about as funny as you could imagine.
Christopher is joined by his longtime collaborator, Cillian Murphy, who is just wonderful. Cillian is... Interesting fact about his name, it's pronounced Cillian when he does drama. When he does comedy, it's Cillian.
Actually, I take that back. The reason why we'll never get a good comedian to host an award show...
Just terrible. Fucking terrible.
Show again is not because of Will Smith. It's because of Ricky Gervais, who unleashed an onslaught of savage roasts and jokes towards the guests,
the Ronan
sponsors,
Farrow
and even the networks
really
who host these events. Ricky exposed Hollywood so badly at the 2020 Golden Globes that no organizer will dare set themselves up to get decimated like that again. Ricky Gervais is a British comedian who is known to push the boundaries with extremely edgy material. Politics, social issues, race, religion. There is absolutely nothing Ricky won't joke about. If people thought that Kevin Hart's material pushed the boundaries, Ricky makes Kevin look like a comedian for children. So how he was able to host the Golden Globes 5 times is pretty insane. The first time he hosted was in 2010.
He is now. He is now. He's realized there's a lot of money in it for like that. Ricky Gervais saw like the money for the kids, and he's just like, "You can keep all that. I'm gonna keep telling the jokes I want to tell. Anybody got a problem with that? Oh, all of you, good. Fuck you." Oh, or he's British, so it'd be that instead. So.
And yes, he was still a savage back then. As soon as he stepped on stage, he started attacking Steve Carell.
You probably know me as the creator of The Office. No, you don't, do you?
You think Steve Carell, did you? Oh,
no, it was...
He's brilliant, isn't he, Steve Carell? He's amazing.
Steve actually takes it in stride.
Where does he get his ideas from?
It's so good. Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. The British office is
I
great.
thought he was mad.
No. He was in character. He was in character as Michael
him
Scott.
doing that, like, that's fucking funny.
But that's the thing. The British office is great. I like the British office. But the American version of the office is great in its own right. Both are good. Just, you can pick and choose if you want. But I think the British office was a lot more edgy. It was a lot more edgy than the American one.
My unpopular opinion is that I'm not a huge fan of either of them.
That's
They have their moments.
That's fair.
But, like, overall, like, as a whole, I didn't really fully enjoy either.
Ricky Gervais created a British comedy show called The Office in 2001, 4 years before the American version.
Yes.
Ricky's show only lasted one season, but is filmed the exact same way. No music, long awkward pauses, deadpan humor, semi-realistic but also extremely unrelatable chaos in the work environment. The premise of the show is the exact same, and only diehard fans of the American version would argue how it's different.
Whoa,
Ricky, like the
weird.
savage he is, goes on to promote his version of the show, as well as roasting the network hosting the event.
Or if you think that particular version of the show has jumped the shark a little bit, then watch the original, Fridays, on Adult Swim.
Yeah, that's right.
Set, that's still available, so go and get that. I will be making the most of this opportunity. I'm not used to these sort of viewing figures. Let's face it, nor's NBC. So...
He then goes on to belittle actors' value to the world. Notice how they almost clap for themselves.
It is an honour to be here in a room full of what I consider to be the most important people on the planet. Actors. They're just better than ordinary people, aren't they? We all know that. Imagine a world without actors. Oh, God, it doesn't bear thinking about it. Imagine if they ever went on strike. Oh, what would we do? You couldn't replace them. You couldn't replace them with any other profession, lawyers or doctors. Can you imagine a real surgeon doing what Hugh Laurie does in-house? It would be pathetic. He'd be all over the place. We're going, oh, where do I stand? How's my American accent? What's my lines?
Hugh Laurie did not like that joke. Another celebrity not very fond of Ricky's jokes was Mel Gibson. Mel has struggled with alcoholism since he was 13 years old. He is also known in Hollywood to be pretty outwardly anti-Semitic. In 2006, he got arrested for a DUI and then proceeded to blame Jews for all the wars around the world before threatening the police officer.
Damn, Mel Gibson, what the fuck?
No, I know. He has since apologized and has made good on his road to recovery, but there's still this stain and it's not going to go away anytime soon. Sad to say, but
so Ricky had to take a jab.
I haven't offended anyone. I didn't mean, it's not my fault. There's a lot of powerful people here, so if I said it's... Honestly, I like a drink as much as the next man. Unless the next man is Mel Gibson.
Oh,
Ricky's
God.
comments throughout the night felt distasteful to many around the world, but numbers don't lie, and he drove NBC's ratings through the roof. The 67th Annual Golden Globe Awards presents NBC with its biggest non-sports viewership in the slot in 6 years. The Golden Globe Awards gains 12% in adults 18 to 49 and 14% in total viewers versus last year's telecast. So he was invited back again the next year.
Also not nominated, I Love You, Philip Morris, Jim Carrey and Ewan McGregor, two heterosexual actors pretending to be gay. So the complete opposite of some famous Scientologists then.
Damn.
Oh my God. Thank you, Tom Cruise.
Probably. My lawyers helped me with the wording of that joke.
2011 would be even crazier than 2010, immediately attacking the nominees, specifically The Tourist, which was a 2010 film led by Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie that was nominated for Best Motion Picture.
It was a big year for 3D movies. Toy Story, Despicable Me, Tron. Seems like everything this year was three-dimensional. Except the characters in The Tourist. I feel bad about that joke. No,
you
I'll
don't.
tell you why. I'm jumping on the bandwagon, because I haven't even seen The Tourist. Who has?
The Tourist was notoriously a terrible movie, and many wondered why it was nominated in the first place. Well, if you understand how Golden Globes are chosen, it might make a bit more sense. The Hollywood Foreign Press is a voting body of about 90 journalists that determine who gets nominated and wins the trophy. To get into the HFPA, you must write for a foreign publication but live in Los Angeles.
Ain't that something?
What?
Yeah.
It's no secret that members of the HFPA like to use their status to mingle with celebrities. It's like if I had a real vote on who wins a Grammy and I started hitting up rappers to have dinner with me. They might entertain it because theoretically I could help them win an award. So you will notice Ricky often says the Hollywood Foreign Press is corrupt.
It must be good because it's nominated, so shut up, okay? And I'd like to quash this ridiculous rumour going around that the only reason The Tourist was nominated was so the Hollywood Foreign Press could hang out with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. That is rubbish. That is not the only reason. They also accepted bribes.
Ricky also had to take more shots at Mel Gibson.
Our first presenter is beautiful, talented, and Jewish, apparently. Mel Gibson told me that. He's obsessed.
And of course he had to dig into Steve Carell some more.
He was a jobbing actor, career not going that well if I'm being totally honest, who got his big break when I cast him in a remake of a show that I created called The Office. He's now leaving that show and killing a cash cow for both of us. Please welcome the wonderful Tina Fey and the ungrateful Steve Carell!
Damn. It's just... You see, they actually get along really well.
Yeah.
Ricky doesn't actually have hard feelings for Steve.
I mean, he just stiff-armed him.
Yeah, he's like, no, I am too rich for you.
They are both in on the joke and love to play up the bit.
It's funny, he always makes fun of me, always. And he's also, you know, in a personal way, been very, very sweet to me. Like, before one of these award shows, he pulled me aside and said, hey, I've got a few things that I wanted to go after you with. Is that okay? And I'm like, of course. So there is a gentler side to him that people don't necessarily see.
He's such a lovely man, though.
But he thinks you're sweet because, just to clarify, you go up to him before an award ceremony and say, I'm going to call you a prick in a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
What I was going to say, you know, if I had access to them, I'd warn everyone.
Some people just don't like the idea of a person being the butt of someone's joke, so they definitely wouldn't like this stray that Sandra Bullock caught at the end of the night.
The next presenter is a national treasure, Miss Congeniality herself. This down-to-earth girl next door first stole our hearts as a bus driver and then as a railway fare collector. Now, of course, she wouldn't be seen dead on public transport, because as she just said to me backstage, poor people are gross and they smell bad. Please welcome Sandra Bullock.
Surely.
Well, here's the thing about Sandra Bullock. She's sort of in the doghouse now because of the whole Blind Side thing.
After these attacks, he wouldn't be brought back to host the 2012 awards. After all, the Hollywood Foreign Press did not want him back, with one member stating, "My worry was that he was insulting, and when I invite someone to my house, they don't insult me. But this is show business. I guess I'm old-fashioned." But NBC was strongly in favor of Gervais returning.
Of course they felt that way.
They
got directly called out.
Yeah.
For being corrupt and shitty.
Yeah, you are up your own ass. Also, keep in mind, one of the heads of the Golden Globes is why Brendan Fraser got blackballed in Hollywood for so long. And then that person gets outed as a sexual deviant and a predator.
Last year, with 17 million live viewers for the entire show, so they decided to bring him back for a third year, and he was as unhinged as ever, opening with lines that proved he could care less about this special evening.
Tonight, you get Britain's biggest comedian hosting the world's second biggest award show on America's third biggest network. Sorry,
Damn.
It's fourth. It's fourth.
Oh, that joke's fall apart.
For any of you who don't know, the Golden Globes are just like the Oscars, but without all that esteem.
The first presenter he brought up was Johnny Depp, and he called back to his previous joke last year about his movie, The Tourist.
Have you... Ready?
I guess so.
Have you seen The Tourist yet?
See, Johnny's a good sport about it.
I mean, everybody loves Johnny now, so...
Oh, yeah. No. Bye.
The lead actor of a movie that was nominated for a Golden Globe, admitting that he didn't even watch his own movie the following year, says just about everything you need to know about the value of these awards. Celebrities, like Elton John, have had enough of Ricky's nonsense. Even Ricky wrote on his blog after the event, "I've told my agent to never let me be persuaded to do it again. But then 2016 came around and Gervais was made an offer he couldn't refuse." He tweeted, "I'm making a list, I'm checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Hashtag Golden Globes." Ricky genuinely believed he would never be back, so he made the 2016 Golden Globes his most diabolical performance ever.
Shush. Shut up. You disgusting, pill-popping, sexual deviant scum.
God damn. God damn.
I want to do this monologue and then go into hiding.
Ricky kept reassuring the crowd he would be nice this evening. He was lying.
I am going to be nice tonight, and I'll tell you why. The president of the Hollywood Foreign Press just told me that if I say anything offensive or crass or resort to innuendo, he is going to come out here and personally pull me off. So that's an offer I couldn't refuse. Yes, that is the level. An old man pulling me off.
And then again insinuated that this award show is corrupt.
One Hollywood publication said that me hosting would mean that some film stars would stay away for fear of being made fun of. As if film stars will stay away from the chance of winning a Golden Globe. Particularly if their film company has already paid for it.
God damn.
Laughing because they know it's true. Ricky continued to just minimize and bash the award show every which way he could.
All female remakes are the big thing. There's a female remake of Ghostbusters. There's going to be a female remake of Ocean's 11. And this is brilliant for the studios because they get guaranteed box office results and they don't have to spend too much money on the cast. So...
God.
Shut up, I don't care. If you do win tonight, remember that no one cares about that award as much as you do, okay? Don't get emotional, it's embarrassing, okay? That award is, no offense, worthless.
To an extent, yeah.
It's a bit of metal that some nice old confused journalists wanted to give you in person so they could meet you and have a selfie with you.
Honestly, there is nothing more I can say to add to this.
Eva Longoria and America Ferrera aren't just beautiful, talented actresses. They're also two people who your future president, Donald Trump, can't wait to deport.
But I'm sure you can tell the energy of this show feels different than previous years. The first 3 shows he hosted, he was more playful, often chuckling to himself devilishly. But this show, he seems more fed up and actually just trying to be...
No, well, he is done.
He's actually just like, I'm here for my paycheck and I don't want them to invite me back again. Like,
well, they literally gave him, I think they offered him like a few $1 million. Like, just to come back and do this, like, oh boy,
hard to pass up. I'm sure.
It's like, you mean you're gonna pay me millions of dollars just to like stand up there and insult people? Sign me up.
Blunt.
Oh, this show is way too long, isn't it? It's way too. This could be half an hour. Okay, let's get through it. Right. Unbelievable. Some people still think this award means something. The winners, just listen to me. Listen, it doesn't just... Right. When Brad and Angelina see our next 2 adorable little presenters, they're going to want to adopt them. Please welcome Kevin Hart and Ken Jeong.
And for...
Damn.
For some reason, the producers decided it would be a good idea for Ricky to introduce Mel Gibson, who he had previously attacked multiple times, and this time would be no different.
Listen, I'm sure it's embarrassing for both of us, okay? And I blame NBC for this terrible situation. Mal blames... We know who Mal blames.
Here's the thing about it. If the producers, who are predominantly Jewish, were unhappy with Mel Gibson and didn't want him back, then they wouldn't invite him back. Obviously, they don't hold anything against him.
I guess so.
Mel's forgotten all about it, apparently. That's what drinking does. No.
God dang it. Oh, that cutaway. Damn. That's Harvey Weinstein. God, dude. Of all the people to show.
I want to say something nice about Mal before he comes out. Oh yeah, okay, here you go.
I like Mad Max.
I'd rather have a drink with him in his hotel room tonight than with Bill Cosby. Please, Mal Gibson.
He's not holding it against him, clearly.
No.
The night concludes, celebrities are angry, the Hollywood foreign press is angry, Mel Gibson is angry, Ricky Gervais is never coming back. Until 2020, where they asked him to...
Exactly!
Oh, and how much the world had changed from 2016 to 2020. Oh, God, Harvey Weinstein's meteoric fall down to hell.
They're just like... One of the reasons they never joke about for this award show.
Yeah.
We make a lot of fucking money from this.
Mm-hmm.
And people are not watching like they watch when he's on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we're trading getting insulted for making a lot of fucking money. Like, we should probably just keep having him on. Like,
well, this one guaranteed that he'd never come back because...
He'll be back in like 2 more years.
Maybe. I don't know.
When they decide they really want a lot of fucking money again.
I guess. I don't know.
To host for the 5th time. People were shocked. Ricky was shocked. And if we thought his 2016 show was direct and less playful, 2020 felt like he did not tell one joke, but rather just statements of how much he hates Hollywood.
You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so... I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello?
Yeah.
Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English.
He immediately set the stage where he would go with a bang, and timbers were shivered.
People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow.
Yep.
He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
Who's Ronan Farrow?
Ronan Farrow's the journalist who broke, like a lot of the big, sex scandals and, the stuff that's going on in Hollywood. Ronan Farrow is the Grim Reaper to a lot of these Hollywood types.
I think everybody should have paid real close attention to everyone's face after that joke, because who's this guy?
Jonathan Pryce.
Look at Jonathan Pryce.
Yeah, he's like...
He feels uncomfortable. He did not feel comfortable with that joke. I wonder why.
Yeah, I know.
That's really suspect, John.
Mm-hmm.
Talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for P movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, 2 Popes. Shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, that's why, because he was in the 2 Popes. He knew that joke was coming.
I don't care.
Ronan Farrow is the son of Woody Allen, who became a journalist and led the charge in exposing Harvey Weinstein for his decades of sex crimes inside the film industry.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like
I still
Jeffrey
need a
Epstein.
list of everyone that defended Harvey Weinstein so I can make sure I never go pay to see any of their movies.
Oh, buddy. I got a video to show you after this.
Season 2
it's
is
a
on
short
the way,
one.
so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Adam Driver.
Plane, didn't you? Right.
Tom Hanks didn't like that one.
Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So
it baffles me how most of Ricky's harshest roasts since 2010 were towards the organizers of the event, and they still hired him 5 times. But the ending of his monologue was not a joke.
No.
So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right?
Yeah.
You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right?
Damn
come
straight.
Up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and f*** off, okay?
His wit and his charm we saw in previous years was no longer present. He had used it all up.
Our next presenter starred in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working for Harvey Weinstein. You did it. I didn't. You did it. Shut the f*** up.
It's not wrong.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fans absolutely loved Ricky's direct attacks on the privileged class.
Yeah.
These harsh jokes are likely the most adversity they had to face all year. Classically, journalists hated his performance. Rolling Stone said, the host's shtick at the 2020 Golden Globes felt incredibly stale.
Of course it did.
It didn't.
Of course it did to you, because he's taking the piss out of the very thing that makes you money.
Salon said, why the Golden Globes and host Ricky Gervais felt particularly pointless. Variety said, but most of the time, his stand-up seemed lazy. Which is true. It was kind of lazy, because it didn't seem like he was joking. But
he wasn't.
If these celebrities are going to congratulate themselves over a dozen times per year with superficial awards and trophies, then they need a comedian to humble them. But I think we can all agree that the real winners of these events are the fans, who get to laugh and reminisce on the comedic chaos that ensued at the expense of multi-millionaires.
Yes.
And we get to, like, see some of the celebrities that we still have a little bit of respect for and find out if we still have any left after the reactions to this kind of stuff. Oh, I've seen that video before.
Yeah. The amount of people who thanked Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, that was before he was caught, though. After he was caught, there were still actors trying to defend him, being like, he doesn't deserve this, he's been so nice, and he, like, saved my life, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, and then there's the other one that still pisses me off. All the people still trying to defend Roman Polanski. Roman Polanski, okay.
Fuck that guy. I also need a list of whoever said that shit.
Oh, there's a few. And this is a regular thing, man. This is a regular thing that you see. You see it all the time with these people making every excuse in the world for why they get, Harvey's just a hands-on kind of guy. Harvey's this. Like, no, it's disgusting. It's disgusting what these people get away with. And some are still getting away with it. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say except for thank God for some comedians. Even though Ricky, I know you don't believe in God, but you just let it pass. Besides, in your mind, it doesn't matter anyway. So, yeah, like I was saying, thank God for comedians who take the piss out of high-minded asshats like this, who don't deserve our attention, but yet demand it anyway. And I hope that you all laughed from this. I know we got some good laughs out of this. Let us know what y'all thought. And I guess until next time, signing off, I am Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Take care. Peace.